Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a huge topic in the cybersecurity world, DDoS attacks. We're going to break down exactly what they are, how they work, and, the really cool part, how the internet itself fights back.
I mean, you've probably been there, right? You're trying to play your favorite game or log into a website, and suddenly, it's just gone. For everyone. Now, you might think it's just a server glitch, but a lot of the time, it's something way more deliberate. It's a massive, coordinated cyber attack.
Okay, so to really get a handle on this threat, we've got to start with the basics. The name itself, denial of service, kind of gives it away. It really is all about one simple but devastating problem: too much traffic.
So let's start with the OG version, the denial of service, or DOS attack. The idea is actually super simple. Picture this. One person decides to stand right in the doorway of a busy store. They're not breaking anything, they're not stealing anything, they're just there, blocking the entrance. And because of them, nobody else can get inside to shop.
Okay, but now, imagine taking that idea and putting it on steroids. That's a distributed denial of service, or DDoS attack. Now it's not just one person at one door, no way. It's like a giant, perfectly coordinated flash mob of thousands, even millions of computers, what we call a botnet, all trying to cram through every single door at the exact same time. The sheer volume of traffic is just massive. It's unbelievably fast. And because it's coming from all over the world, trying to find the source, almost impossible.
And you've got to understand, this isn't some rare thing that only happens to huge companies. Nope. As the folks at FastNetMon point out, these huge attacks are becoming, well, routine. It's just part of the cost of doing business online now, and it's a constant, escalating battle.
So how do these attackers actually pull this off? Well, it's not just about brute force, just sending a giant flood of data. It's way more sophisticated than that. It's a multi-layered assault that can hit different parts of a system, which makes these attacks incredibly versatile and really dangerous.
To really get this, we kinda have to peek under the hood of the internet. There's this framework called the OSI model that helps explain how it's all structured. Now don't worry, we're not going to go through all 7 layers. We're just going to focus on the 3 big ones that attackers absolutely love to go after: the network, the transport, and the application layers.
And you can see here, each layer is a different target. Attackers can hit layer 3, which is basically the internet's street map, and just clog up the roads. Or they could go for layer 4, the internet's postal service, and overwhelm the system that makes sure data gets delivered. And maybe the craftiest of all, they can attack layer 7, the actual website or app you're trying to use, the storefront, with traffic that looks totally normal but is designed to completely exhaust the server's resources.
Okay, so this is the crucial point, right? If the attacks come in layers, then our defense has to be layered too. It's all about building a modern digital castle. Because a single wall, that's not going to cut it when there's a whole army at the gate.
Seriously, think about it like you're defending an actual castle. Would you just build one wall and call it a day? No way! You'd have scouts way out in the distance to spot the enemy early, you'd have a big old moat to slow them down, you'd have massive walls to stop them in their tracks, and you'd have guards inside just in case anyone actually made it through. Well, guess what? Digital defense works the exact same way.
So let's talk about those scouts. In the digital world, this is called upstream filtering. The whole idea is to stop the bad traffic before it even gets to your front door. Your internet provider or a special security service can do this using a really powerful tool called BGP Flow Spec. Think of it like an internet-wide emergency alert system. It sends a message to all the major routers out there saying, hey, be on the lookout for this specific type of bad traffic. And if you see it, just drop it. The attack gets shut down at the source, long before it ever reaches you.
And you can see exactly how this plays out. Step 1, everything's fine. Normal traffic is flowing. Then, boom, the attack starts and the network gets flooded. But then, almost instantly, those BGP Flow Spec rules get blasted out across the internet. Routers everywhere get the memo and start dropping the bad traffic. And just like that, the attack is surgically cut out of the picture and legitimate users can get through again. It's pretty amazing.
All right, so we've got our scouts. Now let's talk about the next lines of defense: the moat, the walls, and the guards on the inside. These are the tools that work a lot closer to home, right on the edge of your own network.
First up, we have the moat. This is called rate limiting. It's a super simple but really, really effective tactic. The best way to think about it is like a bouncer at a really popular club. They're not going to let a group of 100 people all rush in at once, right? They let a few in at a time to keep things from getting crazy.
That's exactly what rate limiting does. It puts a cap on how many requests a single IP address can make, slowing an automated attack right down.
So a server might say, okay, any single visitor can only make, say, 50 requests per minute. Now, for you or me just browsing the site, we'd never even get close to that. But for a bot that's programmed to hit the server thousands of times a second, it's going to hit that wall instantly and get a timeout.
And this is what it actually looks like in practice. Now, don't worry about the technical details here. Just think of this as the bouncer's logbook. It's the system saying, yep, saw this IP address, go over the limit, and blocked. It's happening automatically, in real time, turning those bots away at the door.
And finally, we have the guards inside the castle walls. This is your Web Application Firewall, or WAF. So if rate limiting is the bouncer managing the crowd outside, the WAF is like the highly trained security guard inside who inspects every single thing that comes through the door. It's not just looking at volume, it's looking at the content of the traffic, searching for known attack patterns like HTTP floods that are specifically designed to take down the application itself.
So, as you can see, this is a battle that never really ends. It's a constant cat-and-mouse game. The attackers come up with new, clever ways to attack, and the defenders have to innovate just as fast to stay one step ahead. But what's the payoff for all this work? Well, the results are, just look at this, they're dramatic. Without any defenses, an attack can slam a server's CPU all the way to 99%, it's basically toast. But with that layered defense in place, the same attack is just a blip on the radar. The server load is down around 7%. I mean, that is the difference between your website being completely offline and nobody noticing anything was wrong at all.
So let's wrap this up. What are the key things to remember? First, DDoS is all about overwhelming volume. It's a numbers game. Second, because attacks are complex and hit different layers, your defense has to be layered too. You can't just have one trick. And finally, the best defense today is a proactive one. It's about having automated systems that can spot and stop an attack the second it starts.
And that really leaves us with the big, forward-looking question, doesn't it? This whole battleground is changing every single day. Attackers are already starting to use smarter bots, even leveraging AI to make their attacks more effective. So how do our digital defenses, our castles, need to evolve to keep up? That's the billion-dollar question in cybersecurity right now, and believe me, this fight is just getting started.